We want to win in life. We take action for our goals. We do everything that we're supposed to. But life sometimes will throw a curveball, and it's very possible for us to still win even when life makes no sense. And that's what we're going to be talking about in today's conversation. So let's do it. Welcome to the Dream Lifestyle Podcast, where the goal is to help you craft your dream lifestyle by becoming the best version of yourself. I'm excited about today's conversation because we are talking about how to win when life makes no sense. All of us may have the best intentions in the world. We know our purpose. We know what we want to do. We know why we want to do it. We know our productivity plan. We know how we work. We know all the stuff. We do everything that we're supposed to do. But sometimes life will just still throw a curveball. The unexpected can still happen regardless of your intention. And it's very important that we understand what we need to do during those times of chaos in our lives. And I can tell you from personal experience, I'll tell you a story. For me, my experience with chaos, because that's like one part, I think there's a good place to start, is understanding chaos. Chaos, I believe, a great way to describe is essentially when the unexpected happens and it really shifts your world. Meaning, something unexpected happens and you're in a position you never wrapped your brain around being in. So for me, one position that I was in life that just threw me for a loop was when my dad was falsely accused and imprisoned for something he did not do. Now, one thing about it is when one person goes to prison, pretty much everyone's life shifts. Holidays are different. Just normal family interactions. It's all different. And I've always been someone that, strived for best. I always wanted the best in life. I always wanted to improve. I had goals. I was working towards the goals, doing all the things I tell you guys about, that we talk about every single week, doing the right things. But sometimes life will still just throw you a curveball. And I remember when I had the conversation, my family, we had the conversation just about everything that was happening with my dad. And that was just a curveball. That was a situation that I never wrapped my brain around it. Now, keep in mind, my dad's a pastor, does everything right, just literally stand up, the figure for integrity. And so because of that, because I've known my father to be that, and that's just literally who he is, being in that type of position just never was a possibility. It's never was something, you might plan for different types of things, but that was just never a reality that I thought would ever happen. But sometimes things happen, right? Sometimes the unexpected just happens. You cannot plan. And that's why it's chaos, because a lot of times when we have plans for things, we understand the risk, we make decisions, we do the risk analysis, right? We weigh the pros and the cons. And so even on the con side, it's not chaos, because if it does go left, there is a level of planning involved. Okay, if this con occurs, then I know what I'm going to do. But chaos just speaks to there was no plan. This was not expected. We don't know what to do. And so for me, I was in a position in life just where none of this was planned. None of this made sense. Life was not making sense. And the reason why I say that it wasn't making sense, just because it's like no actions aligned with this outcome. No actions on my dad's part aligned with that outcome. No actions on my life. Like it just did not make sense. The two, like it was like as if 2 + 2 = 8. Like it didn't make sense. But what I realized was in the chaos, and it took time. It was not easy, because there is a part where you have to embrace the chaos, and I think that's where the opportunity lies. You have to embrace the chaos in the sense that there's only a certain amount of time that you actually need to acknowledge I'm in chaos, and you sit in a little bit, because I do believe there is a level of value in just recognizing I'm in chaos, recognizing I'm in a space that I did not plan for. I'm in a space that completely shifts my life. I'm in a space of pain and I don't know what to do about it. There is value in that. While at the same time, once you reach that place, once you reach that place of understanding that I'm in chaos, there now must be a gear shift to I have to get myself out. And that is one of the opportunities in chaos, meaning that once you recognize that you're in a spot that you did not plan for, once you recognize that you're in a spot that it's up to you, one of the facts, and this was something that I had to just come to grips with, was once you accept the reality that nobody was coming to save me. That was one of the things I had to really just come to terms with. And, during this entire time, I'm prayerful and I'm, praying to God about just everything that's going on. So I know that God has me, right? It was hard to really believe it because, again, life around me did not look like it at all. But I still had that belief, that scripture in Romans where it says, all things work together for the good of those that hope in the Lord. So I had the level of belief that, you know what, something good is going to come. Now, again, I didn't know what, couldn't tell you, right? Especially while I was in chaos, there was no way for me to really know. But I did have this foundational belief that, you know what, this is going to work out. But aside from that, in the sense of just what I took responsibility for and what I did to get myself out of chaos, in terms of what I did to set myself on a path to win while in chaos, was understanding the fact that nobody was going to come save me. The turmoil that I was dealing with, the depression I was dealing with, the sadness I was dealing with was something that, while I could say that to people, I could explain to people what I was experiencing. I could tell people how it was hard to get out of bed. I could tell people how, every single day was a battle. The truth was, while they could hear my words, they would never be able to take my position. And because of that, you reach a point in your chaos where it's up to you. You reach a point in uncertainty that you have to take the action necessary to get yourself out. And that's a start when it comes to how to win in your chaos, because one, you win when you're honest with your position. Two, you win when you recognize your role, right? Like, you are the main character of your life. So you win when you actually start understanding that I have to be the one to get myself out. I can't rely on somebody else to get me out. Now, while there are people that will help, there are people that will be generous and everything like that, you still have to take the initiative to make it happen. You have to take the initiative to get yourself out, right? And so with that, that is where I accepted my reality and I just kept on trucking. Now, that's not to say it was easy. It's not to say every day was a great day once I realized, okay, this is my reality. But in that, it was a matter of searching for opportunities, but also at the same time, it was keeping the main thing the main thing. And the reason why I say that is because when the main thing is the main thing, when life's unexpected curveballs come, you recognize them as opportunities, because you know that everything that you've aligned yourself with, in the sense of the goals that you've set, are from a purpose place. The goals that you have are goals that are from God. When the unexpected comes, it's a matter of doubling down on what you believe to be true. Because the thing is, you can't really say you believe in something unless it's tested. And I believe when life's chaos happens, it's only a test of what you really believe. And in that belief, you win when you double down on what you believe. Because if you believe that something's going to work out for good, act like it when chaos is present. If you believe that you can do it, take the action steps necessary even when chaos is present. And while that may not be easy, have you heard about the Dreamer Symposium? It's your space for goal setting, goal planning, and goal execution. This experience will allow you to go to the next level in your life. All you have to do is go get a discounted early bird ticket right now. Just go visit dreamersymposium.com to get your discounted early bird ticket. I look forward to seeing you there. There's limited number of spots, so don't wait. Get your ticket and let's get back to the episode. While it may not even make sense, while you may, have to change some things around in terms of how you may do it, if you truly believe in whatever it is that you're doing, applies to any area in life, but if you truly believe it, even when chaos is present, even if you are able to identify, I'm in chaos right now, I did not plan for any of this, life has happened. If you truly believe in whatever you're going for, if you believe in your goal, if you believe in your process, if you believe in yourself, you will double down in the midst of chaos. And that is a process that I did because, for me, it was you reach a point in chaos where you don't have a choice. It's a real get down or lay down type of situation because, again, nobody's going to come save you. You're going to have people that support you. You're going to have people that help you and all those nice things. But at the end of the day, you have to get yourself out. And so in our conversation, as we're talking about winning in chaos, I want you to think about recognizing chaos. I want you to think about just how it's all up to you to get yourself out. But then lastly, I want you to think about just the opportunity that the chaos presents. And this is a really, really big point, and it takes a level of maturity. It takes a level of objective thinking in order to accomplish this because, chaos is serious. Like chaos is, in my case, it was my father going to prison for something he didn't do, but it may be the health of a family member. It may be, bank fraud. There are so many different things. There are so many unexpected turns that can happen as a result of chaos. There's so many things. Life throws curveballs, right? But as you think about the curveballs, there are opportunities in the curveballs. There are opportunities in the chaos. And so with that, opportunity is something that you can create. But opportunity is also something that you have to first recognize. If you're able to recognize opportunity, then you can leverage opportunity. Because as I said before, with chaos, you're put in a situation that you did not expect. And like any place of growth, like any place of, acceleration, there's a new environment. And when you are put in a situation that you might not have ever expected to be in, that means that you are going to get a result you never expected to have. And while there is polarity to that, there's good and bad to that. If you're able to look at all the situations in your life that, let's say, aren't favorable, but you're able to find positive opportunities within those that chaos, within that unknown and that unexpected, now you're able to leverage those opportunities and almost mine out the good from the chaos. And that is how you win. That is the overview of how you win while you're in chaos. And I'll tell you another example for me. When my father was away for 2 years, during that time, I had started businesses. I had, had success in my basketball career and everything like that. And I was still doing a whole lot of stuff, even though I was in the midst of chaos. And again, it stemmed from me recognizing I'm in chaos, recognizing I'm in a position I never would have thought I would have been in. But what it did allow me to do, the opportunity that I started to discover was that because my dad was gone, it put me in a position to find my voice. It put me in a position to grow up faster. It put me in a position to learn more out of necessity as opposed to doing it casually. Like it pressurized life. And you've heard the term, the pressure makes diamonds. Well, chaos is pressure. And if you allow yourself to look at the chaos for what it is and just only view it as chaos, your pipes are going to burst. But if you look at the opportunity within the chaos, that's where you are able to become the diamond. And so in that, for me, when I started recognizing, you know what, even though my dad's gone, this doesn't make sense. It's not fair. And I spent a period of life doing the blame game. But when I recognized and just took ownership of, you know what, I have to get myself out of this, right? I can't control that, but I have to pay attention to what I have, not what I don't have, not what should be, what could be. Let me pay attention to what is. But when I paid attention to what is, that's when I started discovering opportunity. And in the opportunity is where, again, I started Craft Your Dream. It's in the opportunity I started 10 Media. It's in the opportunity I grew personally. I learned so much about myself through all of this chaos. I understood what I was able to withstand as a result. And it's because of my withstanding during that period. Now, when I experience hardship in different forms and versions of chaos today, I now have a history to look back on that gives me confidence in the fact that, you know what, if I was able to make it through that back then, my chaos of today is nothing, because I know what I have. Because the chaos that I experienced during that 2-year period unlocked new levels of myself that would not have been unlocked otherwise. And that's why I say opportunity is found in the chaos, because the levels of discovery that I was able to make during that period of time when my father was away have accelerated my ability to communicate. They have accelerated my ability to help people. They've accelerated my purpose. And I believe that God had it all happen for a reason, for that purpose of growth in my life. And so even within that, the lesson and why we're talking about this is because I really encourage you to figure out the opportunity that may be in your chaos. And it can be any little thing. It doesn't need to be like some big lesson. You don't always need some huge lesson. But if you can at least get a glimpse of opportunity in your chaos, if you just get a glimpse of it, you can leverage it and you can just lean into it. Because I can tell you, for me, when I was in the middle of that chaos, I was in darkness. I was in bad shape. But because I decided to focus on the opportunities that were there, and they weren't big opportunities. They weren't like what they are today. Like, they were opportunities that, were just very small shining lights in darkness. And I made the decision, I can't stay here. I can't stay in this place of darkness. But what I can do is try to just get as much as I can out of these small little shimmers of hope, shimmers of opportunity in this chaos, in this darkness that I'm experiencing. And more, the more I started moving towards the light, let's say, the bigger and bigger the light got, the more and more the opportunity grew. And my focus just became my focus sharpened as a result of me paying attention to the opportunity present in the chaos. And that's, again, not to say it's easy, not to say that, you won't do it with tears in your eyes. I spent a lot of nights just crying, spent a lot of days just crying, because it's easy, because we're human. We are human. And I think that's even an important thing for us to talk about. Like, so often, hey, you're listening to this episode because you are looking to take action for your dream. You're trying to find your how to your biggest goals. What I'm encouraging you to do right now is go to dreamsociety.info. That is where you can register to be a part of the Dream Society, which is Craft Your Dreams accountability group that meets Monday mornings to set targets, take action, and win. So if that's you, if you're somebody that takes your personal development, you take your growth seriously, this is something you need to be a part of. Go to dreamsociety.info right now. Let's get back to the episode. A lot of people talk about these different concepts and how you should become bigger than your problems and everything like that. While there is validity to that, which is why I said that there is validity to kind of sitting and really feeling what you're feeling, really understanding your chaos, really acknowledging I'm here, acknowledging this happened to me. And when you sit and you give yourself the power to acknowledge what has happened to you, that is when you're able to really make a shift. And people talk about, these topics as if you shouldn't feel. And it's like, that's unrealistic because we're human. I'm a human being. I have emotions. And because I have emotions, I'm going to feel. I'm not always going to be 100%. And that's okay. That's okay to not always feel 100%. But the key is not whether or not I feel a way. The key is, how do I respond? And so when you're in the midst of your chaos, you should not beat yourself up for feeling how you feel in chaos. You should only hold yourself accountable to how you respond to chaos. Because if you can get yourself in the habit of, when you experience chaos, you feel what you feel, let's say for a night or even a day, but then you come out the gate swinging because you understand, like, I have to get this done. Like, I'm not going to allow this chaos to keep me stuck. And you come out the gate swinging. It's about your response. Because if you can respond well to chaos, if you can respond well to life's curveballs, you will put yourself in a much better position, because, again, in that chaos, there is so much opportunity for you to win. But it takes you recognizing the opportunity. It takes us really being intentional and really doubling down on what we believe in while we're in chaos. And that is winning. That is how you win in chaos. When you are able to look at your situation, even though you're doing the right thing, even though you're hitting all your targets, even though, again, you're saying all the right things, you believe the right things and everything, but when life still throws you a curveball and you make the decision to, I'm going to do what I believe is right anyway, even if it doesn't make sense, even though it hurts, even though I'm depressed, even though I'm an introvert, even though, when life throws you chaos, it's about how you respond. And that is how you win. It's recognizing this is chaos, recognizing I have to get myself out of this, recognizing the opportunity and leveraging it, but then also responding, really taking action to get yourself out of chaos, because the opportunity that is there in your chaos can be the birthing ground to your greatness. It absolutely can be. And there are so many examples. There are so many examples of people that are successful, people that are wealthy, people that have influence, people that have power, all these different things that have been through absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. And so I say that to say, if they can experience all of that chaos and still make it to the other side, if they can experience all of these horrible, horrendous things in life, these life's curveballs, and they still decided to win, that is what winning in chaos looks like. And because winning is not a singular event. Winning is not, in sports, in track and field, winning is what's at the finish line. But winning comes with your next decision. There is a winning decision and a losing decision. And it's not a matter of crossing the finish line. It's a matter of, am I going to take a step forward with this decision, or am I going to stay stuck in this decision? And if you decide to stay stuck, you are focusing too much on the chaos rather than focusing and finding the opportunity. But when you decide to make decisions that will advance your life, even in the presence of chaos, that is winning. And so with that, I hope that you got value out of this conversation. I certainly enjoy talking about it, because I think it is so important that even as we are, making the right moves, good time management, super productive, the right mindset, taking action, all the things that are right, that we embrace the reality that life is still not going to always go how we plan it to. But if we respond the right way, we can win. So thank you again for checking out this episode. If you haven't, check out and get your early bird ticket to the Dreamer Symposium. It's the goal setting event to be at. I'm telling you, this is your space and experience for goal creation, goal planning, and goal execution. This room is going to be so dope. If you're an entrepreneur, check out the Business Mastermind. You want to be there. There's only 10 spots. There's limited amount of spaces at this symposium, so please get your ticket. Washington, D.C., it's there. So look, get your ticket, all in the description link below. I appreciate you. Always remember, your dream is possible as long as you are willing to work for it. I'll see you next week.